everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another reading vlog. As you can tell by the title, in today's reading vlog I am filming part 2 of finishing book series that I'm in the middle of, because I was supposed to make this like an ongoing series on my channel, but I honestly forgot for a few months. So now I'm going to try my best to make it more prevalent on my channel and maybe do like one a month or something. I actually just counted all the book series that I'm in the middle of on my bookshelves and I'm in the middle of 28 different book series. I don't even know how that happened. I genuinely thought it would be like maybe 10 to 15 different series, but no, 28, almost 30 different book series. And so I'm going to tackle that because that really needs to be fixed. So that being said, I have 3 books that I'm going to be reading in this video and I'm honestly very excited about all of them. One of them is also a new release and I'm sure you can probably guess what this book is. The first one is Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. This is the sequel to Better Than the Movies, which is a book that I read last year and honestly I really loved it. It was such a sweet romance and I just love Lynn Painter's books in general. When she announced that this second book was coming out, I was honestly so excited and I don't even really remember what happened much in the first book, but I'm hoping that when I go back into it my memory is sort of refreshed a little bit. I'm actually really annoyed because I posted a video about Better Than the Movies like a few months ago, like it was a really old video on my TikTok, and someone commented the day after this was released with a spoiler and I was like, are you serious? Like you're commenting spoilers on my account? I was really annoyed, to be honest, so I'm hoping that that wasn't like a big spoiler for the book. Then we have The Way I Am Now by Amber Smith. I read The Way I Used to Be a few days ago. I actually read it in another reading vlog. If you want to go and watch it, it was reading sad books for a week and I honestly really enjoyed that book. The way it ended really made me want to read the second book because even though we like sort of got closure at the end, I still wanted to see where the story would progress from there and like Eden's character development because she didn't really get much in the first book. And the last book I'm going to read in this video is going to be a little bit confusing. So I'm going to be reading Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. If you've read this series or if you've heard of this series, I'm sure you know there is different reading orders to this series. And a few days ago I put a poll up on my Instagram story. I'll put the results here as well. And I asked if you guys think I should read Throne of Glass or The Assassin's Blade first, and The Assassin's Blade won sort of by far. So I ended up reading The Assassin's Blade the other day, and so this is technically in the middle of the series for me, even though this would be the first book for a lot of people in the series, if that makes any sense. I'm honestly so excited to go into this because I was so nervous to go into this series and I've been putting it off for such a long time because honestly the ACOTAR series didn't really live up to the hype for me and I didn't love it as much as everyone else. But I actually really liked The Assassin's Blade and I like how it gave a backstory to the characters and the world. I feel like I do understand like the whole world now going into this one, and I don't really think I would have enjoyed The Assassin's Blade if I had have read it like more towards the middle of the series, because I just feel like if I was to go into this one blindly I probably wouldn't really know what was going on. So I'm glad that I got that sort of like backstory to the series. But yeah, these are the 3 books that I'm going to be reading in this video. I love that they're all like very cohesive, they all match as well. And the first one that I'm actually going to be starting with is The Way I Am Now by Amber Smith. I just feel like this is the one I'm going to read the quickest, so honestly I just want to like get it out of the way, and this would mean that I finish this little series as well. So yeah, I am very excited to read all of these books and I can't wait for you guys to follow along. Okay, it is now the next day. It is Wednesday and it is currently 1 p.m. I've actually gone back to work this week, unfortunately. I was just on school holidays the last 2 weeks, but I'm very excited because this term I'm not working full time and I'm taking Wednesdays off, and that will definitely be happening for the foreseeable future. I did get quite far into The Way I Am Now last night. I ended up getting like 50% of the way through. I did dog ear the page because I didn't have a bookmark on me, but I got up to part 3, which is page 209. So I did get really far into this. I believe I'm literally like 48% or something. I'm really enjoying this. I feel like it definitely feels very similar to the first book, but I also do feel like the second half of the book is going to be really emotional because there's like this whole court case that's happening and that is going on from the first book, which I'm not going to spoil obviously, but I just feel like the second half is going to be very emotional. I'm going to keep reading this now. I do definitely think I'll finish it in like just over an hour. Like it's very quick and easy to read, and whenever I start reading I truly cannot put this book down. Like it was really hard for me to put it down last night and go to sleep, but I'm really enjoying it so far and I will definitely keep you guys updated with all of my thoughts. Also guys, I have a little energy drink with me right now because you know those days that you just like need that extra burst of energy and caffeine? Today is definitely one of those days, but I actually used to have like at least 1 or 2 of these a day and I've definitely cut back. I'm like trying to be better about my health. I was like really bad for a while, but today I just needed one. Okay guys, so I just read for quite a while. I got up to page 297. So I'm almost up to the next part in the book. I've got like another 20 pages until the last part. And I'm about to go get some groceries so I can cook dinner later and also get myself like a little hot drink. Even though the weather's actually quite nice today and it's quite warm, I just feel like a really comforting drink right now. So I'm gonna get myself a Biscoff latte, I'm gonna get my groceries, and I'm gonna sit in the car and read for a little bit. Page 361, so I have just over like 50 pages to go, which will not take me long to read at all. And honestly, I'm not really liking where we're at in the book right now, but I'm just like really hoping that it's like a good ending and the story all gets like put together at the end, because there's like something that's like hinted at a little bit, and I feel like there could end up being a third book if this thing ends up happening, but I'm kind of just hoping that it ends at this book. I feel like a duology is all we need, but I will be back when I finish the book. Okay, so I just finished the first book a little bit ago, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of my thoughts, but I'm not going to go into it too much just because I don't want to spoil anything, and I always do wrap up videos at the end of the month anyway where I talk more in depth about books. But I actually liked this so much more than I was expecting to. As I said in this video, towards the halfway mark it felt very similar to the first book, and it just felt a little bit repetitive, but then in the second half it definitely got a lot more entertaining. I could definitely see a lot of character growth as well. I actually really liked the way this ended. It ended in such a sweet way, and I just love like the closure that we got at the end of this book. In a way, there was something that we didn't get closure about, but I also feel like that's part of the story because we don't want Eden to like live her life based around this thing that happened to her. So I do feel like there is a chance for a third book, but I definitely don't think there will be. I gave the first one 4 stars and I ended up giving this one 4.5 stars. It still wasn't like that 5-star feeling for me, but it was very close to it. I feel like if the first half of the book was more like entertaining, it definitely would have been a 5-star read, but nonetheless I actually really enjoyed this, and obviously I read it very quickly, like in under 24 hours. So now that I finished that one, I'm like trying to decide which book to go into next. I'm definitely leaning towards Nothing Like the Movies because tomorrow is Thursday and I'm actually going to the Olivia Rodrigo concert, and so I don't really want to go into Throne of Glass today and then like have a whole break tomorrow and then continue Friday, because I feel like I might forget things and it'll also just take me out of the story. So I feel like something like this would be a lot easier to read, and I could even read it all today, who knows. But I'm also listening to another audio right now of a different romance book, and I'm just worried I'm going to get the two confused, and that's why I'm like a little bit iffy about this. But I think I'm going to go with my gut and go with this one because I really do not want to go back into a reading slump, and I'm really excited about this book. Obviously being a new release, it's even more exciting. So as usual, I'll keep you guys updated with all of my thoughts. Okay, so reading update. I really did not read much the other day. I'm only just like starting to read again today. It is now Friday. But obviously I said on Thursday I had the Olivia Rodrigo concert, so I didn't have any time to like read a physical book or anything. The concert was amazing. By the way, she literally sung All I Want as like a surprise song. And oh my god, like I was on the verge of crying. Like I was like, I did not expect this. Like this was not on my bingo cards for tonight. We also bought tickets like secondhand, and I was so worried about being scammed, but we got in there. I overpaid, but everything was okay, and it was such an amazing night. But yeah, I'm very excited to continue reading this. I honestly like have this gut feeling that I'm just not gonna like this book that much just because I don't remember anything about the first book. Like I honestly don't even really remember the characters. But I loved the first book so much, so I really want to love this, but for some reason I just don't really have high expectations for it based on the way it just started. But we will have to see as I keep going. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't done much reading this weekend and it's now Sunday afternoon. I don't even know what happened yesterday, but I've started going to the gym again, and I did some filming yesterday and went to the gym, and I just feel like I completely ran out of time for some reason. We also like went to a travel agent yesterday because we're trying to get a quote to go over to the US next year, and we're just getting like quotes on flights and everything. So the day just flew by, and then today I've done some more filming because I'm trying to like prioritize my YouTube channel a lot more because TikTok's just been doing me dirty for quite a while now. So putting all my effort into here instead. But yeah, I don't even know when I last gave an update, but I'm still up to page 78. I haven't gotten any further than that. But that being said, we are going to leave in like an hour for a futsal game, so I do have a little bit of time before we leave. And I'm also going to go to Big W because there's a book that I really want, and I really want to read it very soon. I will also read it in a vlog because it's meant to be similar to the Boys of Torment series, but it is Unsteady by Peyton Corrine. I don't know how to say the name, to be honest. I literally say that in every video, like I don't know how to pronounce an author's name, but anyway, I do definitely want to read that in a vlog so I can give you guys my opinion on if it's similar to the Boys of Torment series, but I honestly have no idea. Also, I feel like I should mention I've gotten a new camera recently and I'm still getting used to it, so I'm trying to get used to like looking into the lens instead of the viewfinder, because instead of the viewfinder being on top of the lens, it's now to the right of it, so I feel like I probably look like cross-eyed when I'm looking at the viewfinder, so I'm trying like not to look at that right now. I'm just like sitting outside right now soaking up some sun while it's sunny in Melbourne. And I just wanted to say, like, I've been in such a Kindle reading mood recently, so I am still reading the book, but I've just gotten it on my Kindle instead because I just felt like reading on there. I will say one like negative thing that I have about this book is that I feel like Lynn Painter just mentions too much that's like similar to real life in her books. For example, like Liz is doing like the social media page for Wes's baseball team in this book, and I'm like, I don't want to hear about posting TikToks and Instagram reels, and I don't want to hear about like popular songs and popular singers in a book. Like, I want to read a book for escapism, not to like think I'm reading something that like I'd read on my phone, if that makes any sense. I don't like social media or any of that kind of stuff in books, so that's definitely a negative for me. Hey guys, so it is now Monday afternoon. I literally just got home from work like 10 minutes ago, and excuse how nasally I sound, I'm getting sick again. I have literally been struggling for like the past 3 months, just getting sick on and off, and because I went back to work last week, I've probably caught something from one of the kids, which is so frustrating. I feel like it's just like an endless cycle. But anyway, I just started like trying to read Nothing Like the Movies, and I was like, you know what, I am genuinely hating this book so much. There is not one thing that I'm enjoying about this. Like, I just feel like the characters are completely different from the first book. I just don't really think this book was necessary, and I don't think it was needed, and I feel like it's a bit of a money grab just because the first book was so popular. I might be wrong, like maybe towards the end of the book it would get better, but I am going to DNF this book. I'm actually really disappointed because like this was supposed to be like a finishing book series video where I finish series that I'm in the middle of, and obviously I'm not even going to finish this series. I mean, technically like I am, because I'm just choosing to DNF the second book 35% in. Like, I did give it a really good shot, but honestly Lynn Painter's books have just felt really flat for me recently. There is just too many things in this book that I absolutely hate, and I'd rather keep the idea of the characters in the first book than sort of ruin it with this second book. Like, I just do not even want to see where this book leads to. It just feels pointless to me. So yeah, unfortunately I'm DNFing. Also, fortunately, it means that I can start the next book for this video, which will also be the last book, and that is Throne of Glass, which is the second book in the series for me because I read The Assassin's Blade first. I'm honestly so excited to go into this. I might also get this on my Kindle just so it's a little bit more comfortable to read, but I'm excited to read a book that doesn't feel like it's going to put me into a reading slump, because that's exactly how Nothing Like the Movies felt, and I'm so disappointed about it. Like, I really wanted to enjoy it and I really wanted to push myself to finish it, but I just don't want to waste time reading books I'm not enjoying when I've been in a slump for like this entire year. I need to like teach myself to just put books down, and this is definitely going to be a hard DNF for me. I don't think I will ever pick up that book again. But with all of that being said, that means I can finally start Throne of Glass. Okay, so it is now Wednesday. I don't actually know when I gave the last update, but in my last update, I talked to you guys about how I was going to start Throne of Glass. I'm currently up to page 85, which is about 25% into the book, I believe, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm sure a lot of you are already familiar with Throne of Glass and what it actually is, but pretty much we're following Selena, who is an assassin, and she's a really famous assassin, but no one actually knows her identity and like how young she is and that she's a female, and the few people that do know are very shocked by it because obviously she's this amazing assassin. In Throne of of Glass, we're following her. She's being held captive by the Crown Prince of Adalin, which is Dorian. And the like guard that's in charge of her is Kale. I hope I'm saying all the names correctly. I know that I always see these names all over BookTok and everything when they're talking about this series. And I can already tell like I'm gonna end up loving these characters. Because I read The Assassin's Blade first, I actually already know like how the situation came about that she was like held captive. And pretty much the reason why she's being held there is because she's gonna go into these trials. And whoever wins the trials becomes the king's champion. And then after like 5 years, I believe, she can like have her freedom and get out of this like castle and everything. Honestly, Selena is literally my spirit animal. I love her character so much. Like she just has the biggest personality. I literally sit there like giggling at the pages because like everything she says and does is so funny. And I feel like she's just such a strong female character and I obviously love reading about that. But anyway, I'm gonna keep reading. I have nothing but free time for the rest of today because I don't work on Wednesdays. I'm going to reheat some food that I made the other day, like some leftovers, which is gnocchi. I'm so excited about it. And also, while I'm here, I was talking to you guys the other day about a book I really wanted to read, which was Unsteady. And I ended up having to order it from Amazon because it was literally out of stock everywhere else. But even though it's got nothing to do with this video, I just have to show you guys because I'm going to read this in my next vlog that I film. I'm honestly so excited about this book. Like I have been thinking about this since I first heard that it's like similar to the Boys of Tommen series. And I'm really hoping it doesn't disappoint. So here she is in all her glory. You'll have to wait and see my opinions in the next reading vlog. Don't know when the vlog will be up, but it is going to be the vlog that I start filming after this one. So we'll have to see, but very excited about this. Recently started watching Tell Me Lies. I know that it's like a book, but I haven't actually read the book. But the reason I started watching it is because I saw Sarah Crawley in a recent vlog. She was watching like a specific episode in season 2 and was like really excited about it. So I was like, I want to watch this show now. Did not realize that there was like another season before the one she was watching, but I've started watching it as of yesterday. And honestly, I feel like I'm like distracted from reading because I just want to watch that show. But honestly, I think I'm really gonna like it. I don't know like where it's gonna go or like what to expect out of it. But right now we're just following like some really toxic relationships and I feel like I'm gonna hate like most of the characters in the show. But if you need like a TV show recommendation, Tell Me Lies. It's on Disney, in Australia at least. Okay, so I am not gonna lie, it has been a couple of days since I've given the vlog an update, and that's literally because I haven't really been reading any of Throne of Glass this week. It's currently Monday night and over the weekend I was quite busy and just didn't really get any time to read, so I kind of just like focused on audiobooks. But also I'm actually like for some reason really struggling to get into this and to get through this. I know a lot of people say like the first few books in the Throne of Glass series are a little bit boring and you kind of just have to get through them, but the only thing keeping me going is literally Selena. Like I love her character so much. I love seeing her personality throughout the book, but honestly I'm just like really struggling to get into it. I just feel like Sarah J Maas's writing is a little bit too detailed for me and it just takes me out of the story. I can't really focus on it, so I am like struggling through this a little bit, and I'm gonna try to sit here right now and read some because I really just want to get this video up, to be honest, and finish this book. I think it's also the fact like I've got so many books like on my priority TBR and on my radar that I want to get to, and like I just want to finish this so I can get to those books. But because I'm like stuck in the middle of this book, like I'm like 54% in, not very motivating, but I'm gonna try to get like a good chunk into the end of this book because I feel like it will get more entertaining in the second half. I am also reading it on my Kindle because for some reason a physical book is just quite stiff and I just don't want to be reading a book like that, so we'll be reading it on my Kindle today. If you live in Australia, this chocolate is amazing. It's literally vanilla and passion fruit. Sounds really weird and like not a good combination, but it is so good, and I'm gonna eat some while I drink my tea and read. I literally have the ultimate setup right now. I have my Kindle on a tripod attached to my desk, obviously. I have a Kindle clicker and remote, so I can just sit here with the remote and turn the pages. Like, I have a cup of tea, I have chocolate. Like, honestly, life can't get any better right now. Guys, ignore the fact that there's a bit of a mess behind me, like the bed looks very messy. But anyway, it is Tuesday afternoon. It's currently 5:22 and I had work today, but tomorrow is my day off because I don't work on Wednesdays. I think I mentioned that last week as well in the vlog, but I'm like so excited to have tomorrow off. I didn't go to work yesterday because I just wasn't feeling well, and I went today and then I'm not going tomorrow, so that is great for me. We were going to go to the beach after work, but like a couple of people cancelled, which I'm really disappointed about. I was actually very excited to go. Anyway, I guess I'm wasting the first hot day we've had in Melbourne in literally months. Like, it's 30 degrees today, which is like around 80 Fahrenheit, I think. And yeah, quite disappointing. But anyway, last night I did read like 15% of Throne of Glass, and I did start getting into it a little bit more, but I ended up getting distracted and I ended up getting tired, so I didn't end up finishing it. But I'm 75% in and I'm definitely going to try to finish it today. I just need to finish it so I can, like, you know, get it out of the way. As I said yesterday, there's so many books that I'm very excited to read, and that's why it's been a struggle for me to get through this. But I'm about to go have a shower and get into my pajamas for the night, and then I'm gonna start reading. Hey guys, it is now Wednesday, and joke's on me, I literally did not end up reading anything yesterday. I did go and have a shower and get into my pajamas, but then we went out last minute. We ended up going out for dinner like really late with like a group of friends, and yeah, so we didn't get home till like 11 p.m. and I didn't end up reading anything. I did in fact lie. I feel like I'm always lying to myself and you guys in my vlogs because I always think I'm gonna do something and then I don't. But anyway, it is actually already 3:30 today because I've had a very busy day today. I actually like filmed and edited a whole YouTube video this morning. It was like going through my whole entire physical TBR. It's actually going up today, so that will already be up on my channel when this video goes out. But I also had my first therapy appointment, and I'm not going to talk about it too much, but pretty much I saw a therapist in grade 2 because like I was terrified of everything, like ghosts, that kind of stuff. And then I saw one again in year 10 for depression and anxiety, and now I'm going to one again, but I feel like this time it's actually gonna help because I'm going there willingly and like I'm the one that's making the decision to go to a therapist, if that makes any sense. And I'm honestly just very excited for my next session. Like, this is like really good for me, so I just had to say it in the video. Pretty much I have nothing left to do for the day. My mum is coming over with my sisters for dinner, but that's not for like 3 hours, so I do have a good couple of hours to read and actually try to finish this book, and hopefully I actually can. Okay, it is Friday morning and last night I finally finished reading Throne of Glass. I am actually like low-key so glad that I finally got it out of the way because I really struggled to get through this, as you could probably tell by the fact it took me a long time, and I was kind of complaining about it a little bit throughout this vlog. It's not that it was necessarily bad, I just think that there was too much detail. Like I said, like I feel like it dragged on when it didn't really have to, and we were like skipping over the important things that I would have liked to read and focus on. It kind of just took me out of the story. Like every time I read it, I feel like I wasn't focused. I honestly don't even know what happened in this book. It's one of those books that like I finished, but I feel like I was just reading words on paper and nothing was really sinking in, which is kind of frustrating. I know how it ended and I know like bits and pieces of how we got to the end, so I definitely will continue this series. Obviously, I feel like the series will get a lot better. I think I did say at the start of this vlog, like I've heard a lot of people say that the first book's not that great, and I definitely agree. I actually loved The Assassin's Blade, so this one was a little bit disappointing, but I ended up giving it 3 stars. I might bump it up to 3.5. It depends what I think about more towards the end of the month, but I don't really think it'll change. I think I'll keep it at 3 stars, which is still a good rating. It's just not anything amazing. But anyway, because I finished reading this, that means that we have concluded this vlog. Obviously, I only read 3 books in this video and one of them was actually a DNF, but I'm still going to count it as a book that I read in this. All of that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video, especially if you stayed till the end, and I will hopefully see you in my next one.